Welcome to Crisis in Perception, where we examine the systems shaping our world, one book at a time. Today, we're diving into a really fascinating book by Jeremy Rifkin called The Zero Marginal Cost Society. Now, this book offers a pretty radical look at where our economy might be headed, and it all kicks off with one single, really profound question. And here it is. This is the central paradox the whole book digs into. I mean, think about it. What happens to a system like capitalism, which is all about markets, profit, and scarcity, when technology suddenly makes the cost of producing just one more of something, well, plummet to basically nothing? This question, it really strikes at the very foundation of how we've organized our world. So Rifkin's core argument is pretty wild. He says that capitalism actually contains the seeds of its own, well, transformation. It's not some external force coming in to overthrow it. No, instead, it's being reshaped from the inside out by the very thing it got so good at, this relentless, nonstop pursuit of efficiency. Okay, so the key idea we have to wrap our heads around is something called marginal cost. In any competitive market, right, businesses are always trying to lower the cost of making just one more of their product. Why? Well, so they can attract customers with lower prices and beat the competition. This drive, this constant push for efficiency, has literally been the engine of innovation for centuries. But here's where things get really interesting. Technology today is pushing that cost all the way to its logical conclusion, which is pretty much zero. We actually saw this happen first with information. Think about a song or an ebook. Once you create that first one, what does it cost to make 1 million more digital copies? Basically nothing. It's just copy-paste. And this isn't just about digital stuff anymore, not by a long shot. This whole zero-cost revolution is now spilling over into the physical world. Think about it. Once your solar panels are installed, the marginal cost of generating one more watt of power? It's practically free. The cost of the materials for a 3D printed object can be tiny. And online courses? They're educating millions of people at a tiny fraction of what traditional university costs. So what happens next? Well, as the market starts to become, less and less relevant for all of these things that are nearly free, Rifkin says a whole parallel economic system is rising up to take its place, and he gives it a name, the collaborative commons. And this is a huge shift. We're talking about moving from a world that's all about market exchange to one that's built on collaborative sharing. A world where maybe having access to a car or a power tool when you need it is way more important than actually owning one. And get this, a world where your social capital, your network and your reputation, could be just as valuable as the money in your bank account. So what's making all this possible? The technological backbone for this whole new commons is what we call the Internet of Things, or IoT. Just imagine this, a super smart distributed network where our communication systems, they merge with a new renewable energy grid and a fully automated logistics network. What you get is this incredible platform that lets regular people produce and share things and services directly with each other, totally peer-to-peer. And this new infrastructure gives rise to a whole new kind of person in the economy, the prosumer. And that's exactly what it sounds like, someone who is both a producer and a consumer. You see it everywhere already. People generating their own green energy and selling it back to the grid, people 3D printing their own stuff, or anyone contributing to open source projects like Wikipedia. They're all prosumers in this new economy that's starting to emerge. Okay, so this is a massive transition we're talking about. How can we even picture it in our minds? Well, Rifkin is clear. This isn't some violent collapse. It's much more gradual, much more systemic. And he uses a really powerful metaphor to help us see it. Yeah, he frames this whole transformation not as some sudden, catastrophic failure, but as an eclipse. The old system, it doesn't just vanish overnight. It's more like it's being slowly, gradually overshadowed by the new one that's been growing right alongside it all this time. Here's how to think about it. The capitalist market, it's like the sun. It's been the center of our economic sky for hundreds of years. But now, this collaborative commons is moving into place, and it's starting to eclipse that sun. So the market system slowly fades in importance for more and more parts of our economy. And as it does, it reveals this glowing, collaborative light that was actually there, developing all along. So at the end of the day, this book isn't really about making a hard prediction. It's about giving us a new lens, a new way to see the world. It's a powerful insight into the systems at play, and it helps us see all the profound changes happening around us in a totally different light. What's so fascinating is that this isn't really a story about capitalism failing. In a weird way, it's about its ultimate success. It's that relentless, unstoppable drive for productivity that pushes marginal costs down to zero. And in doing so, it creates the perfect conditions for a whole new economic system, one that's built around collaboration and abundance, not scarcity. And that really leaves us with a final, pretty deep question to think about. If the very logic of our economy starts to shift away from scarcity and toward abundance, away from ownership and toward access, what does that actually mean for our society, for how we live, how we work, and how we connect with each other? For the full long-form deep dive into this book and its ideas, follow the link in the description. If you enjoyed these explainers, please subscribe and comment with books or topics we should explore next.